Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night. It's 7 o'clock. It's time for Content to Cocktails. And this evening, I've got a slightly different setup. I'm playing around with a new bit of kit. I've got a device that's going to let me use multiple cameras. So we're gonna see if the tech works. It's very straightforward. So we're gonna have a bit of fun. But if you are new to Content to Cocktails, welcome. If this is your first time. This is a regular show that is all about video content creation and video content marketing, and that can be video in all of its forms, whether it's pre-recorded or live content or however you're using video in your business, whether you're using short form content on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. This is a place to come and ask questions, to take an exploratory look at different ways that you can get your message, your business out there as effectively and as efficiently as possible. Video marketing is a fantastic tool, but it's good to have a few skills and what have you up your sleeve in order to make it the most effective it can possibly be. And that's what Content to Cocktails is all about. Hello, Janelle. How you doing? Good to have you here. I've been doing this now for coming up to 3 years. And it's been a wonderful way for me to grow my business. Live video has changed the way I do things completely. It's been a way that I've kind of I've built the business in a way that feels comfortable and natural and easy, and is a method to get me in front of the people I want to work with, the people I want to communicate with. And if turning up once a week and drinking a cocktail is work, then I am I was going to say a workaholic, but I feel it's slightly poor taste. But I love my work. If nothing else, it's a way to make cocktails tax deductible, isn't it? So hello, Chris, neighbour, a few doors down. Oh, your face isn't turning up. So look at this. I've got a cocktail set up here. It's Bernard. It's the Prime Minister. There's a man who knows how to party. Well, no, there's a man who doesn't know how to party, because he can't tell if he's at a party or not, which is difficult, isn't it? I mean, what an affliction. So we're going to move to camera 2. So as you can see, we're going to have the Devil's Cocktail. Exactly, Chris, neighbour and friend, absolutely. We're going to go for the Devil's Cocktail, and this is a Bernard. So look at this. I'm going to put a little. There I am. Overlay. So I'm going to put this cocktail together. This is called the Devil's Cocktail, and this is one I've done before, but it's a rather nice one. And we've got it's a measure of brandy and half a measure of peppermint. So you must have seen Bernard's cocktail, but it's this. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. This, Janelle, is my grandfather's cocktail book. He gave this to me. It says Neil Coxon, Madras, 1945. And it is called 100 Cocktails and How to Mix Them. And you can see it says here, book production, war standard, war economy standard. This is a war issue cocktail book, which I find amazing. This is the way that we defeat Nazis. It's not all about the guns and the politics. Sometimes you've got to have a war standard issue cocktail book. Take that, Hitler. So my grandfather gave me that book, and when he was with the Fleet Air Arm, and in fact you can see that's his badge, Fleet Air Arm, and he was stationed out in the Indian Ocean for a while, and obviously found his way to Madras in 1945, which is where this book comes from. So yeah, that's it. He flew fairy swordfishes, which is basically a biplane, and a biplane that went at about 70 miles an hour. So it was very, very slow, and they were the main way that the Fleet Air Arm flew, I think. And so he was involved in some fairly sort of significant military, sort of naval actions against ships. And the way it was, you had a pilot and a gunner, and what would happen is that when you were flying the fairy swordfish, the person who was the torpedo man, because they would deploy torpedoes, had to hang out over the side of the plane and judge the moment of dropping the torpedo so that it hit the trough of a wave, so that it would go in and off it would go. So it was a precarious job. But one of the amazing things about flying these fairy swordfishes is that because they were so slow, there was an element of protection against some of the faster German planes. So they were finding themselves kind of protected by the fact that these biplanes, these kind of fabric and wood biplanes, were kind of too slow to fight. But he was kind of flying these things into action at the age my nieces are, which is like kind of 2021, which is crazy. I can't imagine. I was functionally incompetent at the age of 21. I don't think I'd have been able to do anything like that. Chris, that's Fred the Head, my dummy. So if I'm filming on my own, I've got a head that I can put in front of the camera. So I'm checking critical focus. Anyway, this isn't getting us anywhere closer to the cocktail, is it? So we're going to go to camera 2. So this little thing here is, as you can see, this is the ATEM Mini, and this is the prize. One of these, not this one, because this is my one. This one here. This one is the one we're going to give away, because I've decided that I'm going to run the challenge again next week, because I'm launching. I've got a video live stream bootcamp coming out well, it's out now, so you can sign up for it now. But I wanted to get it out there as much as possible, and someone suggested it might be a good idea to run the challenge week again, because I know how much people enjoyed it. So I'm going to run it, but I'm only going to run it in Grow Your Business with Video. So it's only going to happen in the group, it's not a pop-up group or anything like that. It's just going to run in the group. So we're going to do the Go Live challenge again, and there's going to be some prizes, not huge prizes, but this is worth kind of 400. This is worth 300 quid. So this is a good bit of kit to have, and it'll come with a session where I can set things up. Hello, Danny, how you doing? So this is the thing. So I can switch between cameras. Ta-da! I can move back. I can put a little insert there. Look, you can see my cheeky face. Where am I? Oh, it's difficult. There. See my cheeky face. You've got wipes, and so I can fade to black. Oh, mysterious. Fade up again. I'm back. So it does lots of different things, and I can even do a cheesy wipe. Look at this. This thing's horrible. Oh, can't. Let's move to cam. Oh no, hang on. It's gonna. Oh, look at that. It's a Star Wars wipe. Whoop. You shouldn't really. These are pretty revolting. Danny, I feel like an arms race coming on. Just the most ridiculous setup, but camera 2, camera 1. So yeah, you can win one of these. You'll win one of those, and you'll win the opportunity to fresh from QVC. This is. I mean, here's the. Don't lose these. Don't use these. This is the worst. I don't know why they even put this thing on. Look at that. That's horrible. Although, what's this one? Oh no, that's even worse. Never use those. You can go for a dip to white. That's better. That's nicer. Or a fade. Now, what is interesting is that there's a whole platform. So actually, I can upload special wipes, so I can put my own wipes onto this. So I can have special content cocktails wipes, or you could have special wipes for whatever show you're doing. But you upload, you kind of map those features against the hardware. So as you can see, you know, there's all sorts of kind of gadgetry and sort of things. So it can take up to 4 cameras, and you can move between the 4 cameras, but I've only got the 2 going. So we're gonna mix the cocktail. So we are going to mix the Devil's Cocktail, and I will tell you what is in the Devil's Cocktail, because it's a very simple cocktail, but actually it's very nice. So it's just brandy. So we've got a bit of brandy here and some peppermint, and that's it. Just shaken over ice. So we're gonna do this right away. So yeah, if you like the look of this, if you like the look of this bad boy, obviously this bad boy, not this bad boy. I'm not a bad boy. I don't think I've ever been. Look, I was dealing antiques at the age of 13, so I'm not allowed to call myself bad, because that would be wrong on many levels. So we're gonna have a measure of brandy. I'm gonna pour that. Now, you see, look, I like being able to show you the fact that I'm mixing the cocktails. So yeah, so this is going to be, and this will be music to Andy's ears, this is going to be the community engagement prize. So next week, the person who is the most engaged in the group is going to walk away with an ATEM Mini and a setup session with me. Chris West, yeah, well, you see, funnily enough, so my background is in art and antiques. So I did my undergrad degree in. I'll get to you in a minute, Ruth. I did my undergrad degree in history of art at Warwick, and then I went down to Southampton University, Southampton Institute, and studied fine art valuation for my master's. I was going to go into the world of art and antiques, but sort of fate intervened, and I ended up in the world of video and TV. And here I am today, mixing a Devil's Cocktail having a drink with you good people. So yes, I am Andy. I'm seeing your yeah. So there we go. Oh, look at that. I am seeing your comments, Andy. I was getting around to it because I wanted to. And actually, this is a very nice cocktail. So, Ruth, as I said before, this is a book called. Let's move to camera 2. Camera 2. This is a book called 100 Cocktails by Bernard. You see, now this is the other little bit of information I like about this. So, Bernard is something of a mystery. Well, was something of a mystery until I found out that Bernard is in fact. So this is a 1940s cocktail book, and this is the first edition. Bernard was a woman who basically went around collecting cocktail recipes and writing them down. I think she was probably a person who liked to tipple and just kept them noted down. So the Devil's Cocktail, but it's a little comment. So it says the devil. So the bottom of the Devil's Cocktail. This cocktail is quite strong, not for beginners. Well, people, you'll be glad to know that I would probably think that I'm not necessarily a beginner. Hello, Scott. Hello, Kerry. How you doing? It is a bit fancy, isn't it? It's kind of it's a useful bit of kit. I'm really liking it. Hello, Scott. How you doing? But as you say, Kerry, it does have a big red button, and when you press the big red button, the camera. Oh, well, no, it's when you don't press the big red button. So there we go. So it just all this does all this bit of kit does is it allows me to set up a multi-camera edit. But what's interesting, it's also a capture device. So so it allows me to use a few different images. So I've got two Sony cameras. I've got one Sony camera there and one Sony camera up here, and they're just attached by HDMI to this bit of kit, and it just allows me to move between the cameras. I mean, it is, you know, it's really very kind of it's incredibly simple. It took me what 10 minutes to set up, and it was as simple as plug the cameras in. It was like a 6-step process that you know that was set out, and that was that. I just moved between, and it actually you don't think on a live like this that it's going to add a huge amount of value, but actually just in terms of maintaining interest, it's just, you know, it's visually it's kind of quite pleasing, and I can you know I've got fades to black. You can fade to black, change camera, fade up. You know, just little things like it's these kind of live mixing things that allow you to turn your live broadcast into something else that is perhaps kind of more than just yeah, that's exactly, Scott says. It is a little differentiator. So it really is all about kind of making yourself kind of stand out from the crowd. Who is this? Hey Tom, says Facebook user. Let me know who you are in the comments. Most people say don't, exactly, Chris, but you know what, sometimes the big red button is just a big red button and it's not connected to a bomb. But unless you press it, how are you going to find out? Oh, I'm not using Melon today. I was using Melon. I'd set this up on Melon, and because I'm so who is this? Is that so I can use this on Melon, as I've tried. I wanted to make sure it worked on StreamYard as well as Melon, but it looks like I've stayed on StreamYard. So Melon is yeah, Melon's great. I'm really enjoying Melon, but I appear to be on StreamYard. I've still got Restream going as well. I need to test this out on Restream. But yeah, so this well, this not this specific one, but the one I've got is going to be the prize on the challenge. So we're gonna that's an interesting no. So does this get using this gizmo mean that you don't have have to invite a guest camera via? Yeah, absolutely. So all this is doing. So I'll just shift onto the camera. You're going to get sick from seeing all. So what happens is that you're taking. So you've got these 4 different cameras, and each camera comes in as a feed. I've got an output here to another screen, which actually isn't on. I haven't connected it. I don't know, Karen. That's weird, isn't it? And then you just have, so this is the output. So it's a USB-C output, and that's the power. You can also put microphones in here. So I'm effectively, what my computer sees is one video input, but it's one video input, and I'm able to switch between the different video inputs here. So I can, this bit of hardware allows me to do a variety of different video related tasks. So, you know, switching between cameras. So I've got 4 cameras I can move between. I've got various other things I can do. So, you know, so on and so forth. So it kind of, it is a it's a very it's a very, in many ways, it's a very simple bit of kit, but it's a very clever one because it takes something which is quite a pain to do in some ways and turns it into an incredibly simple and straightforward process. And as I say, it took me minutes to set it up. But yeah, it does make that 2-camera setup much easier. Much easier. So the challenge is leading into Livestream Bootcamp, and I set up Livestream Bootcamp as a course. So it's a paid course. It's £299. Yes, Andy. So yeah. So the answer is yes. The short answer is yes. If you don't want to, the too long didn't read version is yes. In this question, yes. Livestream Bootcamp, it's 299 quid or 2 payments of 150, and that's including VAT, so you can claim the VAT back if you're VAT registered. And it's just designed to be a simple 4-week course with a week of implementation and Q&A, designed to get you going. It's going to be heavy on the action and not light on the theory, but the theory with that, but the impetus is about getting stuff done, because we're at the start of the year, and over Christmas I finally got round to building out something which is very exciting. So this is something that all of the Video Academy guys will have access to, and anyone who comes onto Livestream Bootcamp will get. But I have put together a rather nifty, if I can, I will just share my screen, and bear with me a second. I'm going to share my screen. I have put together a spreadsheet, and you're probably thinking, oh, steady on Tom, this does sound exciting. I can't wait to hear about the spreadsheet you made over Christmas. Your Christmas sounds absolutely amazing. What did you get from Father Christmas, Tom? I got a spreadsheet. That's right. So this is what. How did you spend your Christmas, Tom? I spent it making an awesome spreadsheet, and so I'm gonna. I know. What a tease! So look at this bad boy. Share screen. So this cheeky little number is it's a year's content planner. So you set out the date and time of your broadcast, your ideal audience profile. Then we've got live or pre-record. Got lots of drop downs, content type. So I've got lots of ideas in here about the types of video you can make. Then you designate your platforms. It's got, see if you're multi-streaming. Purpose of the video, is it for audience education, audience growth, launch, whatever. YouTube status. I'm missing I am missing a. This is awful. We are missing a key. Oh, I think no, it's in the old one. Hang on. There we go. So I've also got in this a huge list of lots and lots of live video topic ideas. So as you plan out your content, you can have a complete content plan with all the ideas generated for you. You'll never have to worry about what you're going to say or what your live is going to be about. And alongside this, you get all the kind of planning materials for building out your kind of individual structured live. So yeah, that's what I did over my Christmas. I built a really detailed spreadsheet because I'm so cool. It's a bit sad, isn't it? What a life, eh? Facebook user, you know it. Love a spreadsheet. So I feel like well, this is interesting. We've got a very different set of reactions from the Scottish crowd. So Scott MacArthur says Sado. It's a bit harsh, but possibly true. Carol says a good spreadsheet is a thing of beauty. Although I noticed, Carol, you're not necessarily saying that my spreadsheet is a good spreadsheet. You're just saying a good spreadsheet is a thing of beauty. The implication, of course, could be that my spreadsheet is a bit ugly, but I think it's beautiful. But no, I agree with you, Scott. It is a bit of a sad way to spend Christmas, isn't it? No, thank you. I'm a brittle creative type. I need my praise. I need my praise. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to running live stream bootcamp, and everyone who's in Video Academy is in it already. So it's going to be sort of an additional way to sort of supercharge things, and it's designed to get you doing, because the problem with live video can be that it's one of these things that we kind of half-arse. We can half-arse it, and we can do it flying by the seat of our pants a lot of the time, and that is when it doesn't necessarily work. Live video works when you have a very clear idea of the end goal and craft your content in order to get you to it. And that's where, to be honest, that's where the spreadsheet comes in. I'm assuming there's a pants, Scott. I'm being trolled by Scott. It's normally a sort of a double-pronged attack from Scott and Mike Boss, but Mike Boss is it's elsewhere. I feel like I'm safe, but I thought I was safe, but no, I'm being trolled. And dealing with trolls is really important. You know, it's one of these big fears we have. But no, Scott is actually. I've known Scott for years, and we've through work and through the PSA, I think. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Scott is not only a highly creative man, but a methodical man of science. Inspiration can come in the form of a spreadsheet, and I think this is it. You know, you've this idea that we shoot from the hip with our content. Before he had it. Yes, very true. When I make it big, I'm never gonna be one of these people who sort of disappears for 3 weeks and turns up with a full head of hair. That'd be so weird. I was having this conversation with somebody recently. They were saying, I'm thinking of going and getting hair transplant. I sort of think, part of me thinks, I think my kids would completely freak out if I, disappeared for a week and came back with a head of hair. It's like, no, they've taken it off my arse or something and stuck it on the top. I don't know how these things work. Yes, I think I'm bald. Look, if it's good enough for Jean-Luc Picard, it's good enough for me. Yeah, so you don't shoot from the hip with your live content. It is not something that that will get you to your goals as efficiently as kind of as going at it with a plan. And I know that sounds really stupid and really obvious because we know this about business. We know that our kind of our businesses flourish and thrive when we have a good plan that is well executed. And for me, having the sort of the tools to make things easy is a big part of that process. Staying on target is not necessarily something that comes easily to me. As somebody who has had sort of a struggle's the wrong word, because ADHD is a funny thing. It can both feel like a blessing and a curse sometimes, but it makes certain things about life much easier and other things about life much harder. But knowing what your sort of limitations are, your sort of best operating parameters are, you can you can sort of you can build systems and processes around that those limitations to make it a lot easier. And that's kind of what I've done. So I know that an awful lot of people who aren't dealing with the same things that I deal with, when they get my sort of processes and start using them, find that they work really well for them as well. So my sort of struggle is your gain, I suppose. Yeah, I'd completely agree with that as well. I think the way I like to think about it is that you have your core content. So you've got your sort of, so for example, Content to Cocktails is a, with exceptions of kind of sort of end of last year when I was sort of juggling a million and one things. The reality is I have this one central life, but I can ad hoc things around that, because sometimes it is good to react. There are going to be things in your professional space that require a comment from you, a certain acknowledgement. So it's things like kind of accountants and budget day, that kind of stuff. I never see accountants doing live video around that kind of stuff, but obviously it would be fascinating to have that kind of live feedback. And I think it's a bit of a missed trick sometimes. Still working. Just thought I'd check. So yeah, you have your core plan, but if you build into your core plan some flexibility to have sort of ad hoc stuff, that's great, because that's all about audience development as well. People want that. People like that. Can you imagine the drama? I can, Scott, and it sounds pretty high octane, doesn't it? I think I'm going to venture into the 2 cocktail zone, because that was very nice. And Bernard does say that let's go to camera 2. Insert. We're going to go for cocktail number 2. So that's the peppermint tin. I've made this before with creme de menthe instead of the peppermint. And I don't know why, but I cannot get hold of creme de menthe locally at all. Which I'm aware is possibly one of the more ridiculous sentences I've ever said. I just can't get hold of creme de menthe anywhere. Can you imagine? It's sort of a bit overheard in Waitrose, isn't it? But to get to Waitrose here, you've got to go you've got to go into Cornwall. From Plymouth, the nearest Waitrose is Cornwall. Crazy. Got to go over. You've got to pay a toll. We are going into the dangerous second cocktail ground. And you know what? It's a cocktail that Bernard describes as not for beginners. But then I wouldn't consider myself to be a beginner. Have one for me. It's my birthday tomorrow. Well, there we go. Happy birthday, Facebook user. Putting that in there. Lovely stuff. It does. It very much does. If it wasn't for the fact that going deeper into the southwest would be deeply problematic for getting the kids to school, getting Astrid to school. We would definitely be going that way. Cheers. My favourite place in Cornwall is the Tate in St Ives. I mean, St Ives now is just, you know, bonkers. I like Carrandy. There we go. You know, St Ives is lovely, but you know, it's always crazy there. You know, you don't go anywhere near there in the summer. It's kind of horrible, but off season it's great. But the Tate St Ives is one of my favourite places. When I was doing my GCSE art and A-level art, we had the most fantastic art teachers, and we went on field trips down to St Ives because the teachers had really good connections with artists down there. In fact, so Terry Frost's son, and indeed Terry Frost himself. But we went down there and had sort of master classes with really incredible artists. And I think more than anything else, those trips to St Ives when I was sort of you know, doing GCSE were the things that solidified my love of kind of my love of kind of the art world, and sort of really kind of gave me an enduring love for it. And I think it's really important when you are creating video content to cast your creative net far and wide. And I think, you know, this is something that I know that Scott, you've touched on in many of your Karen. Yes, hello, I can. This is something that you've spoken about. This idea that we have to be people who search for our answers and our inspiration and our knowledge in lots of different places. Whether you are in the sciences or the arts or whatever, or you know, whatever your field of expertise, you've got to seek inspiration and kind of input from lots of different sources. And I think as creators of visual content, it's incredibly useful to go and look at paintings and sort of an art, you know, sculpture, and draw inspiration from it, because you never know what you're going to get from it. You never know what you're going to get from it. Evening, Sarah Jane. Hello. Cheers. And I think it's something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but if at all, actually, with kind of content creation is how you draw your inspiration. And I think we have to be open to creative inspiration from all sorts of places. And that for me is one of the real pleasures of kind of mooching around galleries, which, to be honest, I haven't done for a very long time. Una and I had a very nice weekend where the kids went up to my parents, and we spent the day down in St Ives going around an exhibition. In fact, there was a temporary exhibition there, which my initial reaction to was quite negative. But the more I sort of walked around and sat with it, the more I liked it. And sort of getting back, and it was very eclectic and very it was quite sort of challenging in places. And I sort of have found that it stuck with me far more kind of comprehensively than an awful lot of work that I've seen over the years. Sandra, that is a really, so I have a swipe file of pictures I take care of inspiration. I think that's a really good idea, because you don't quite know how something is going to inspire you, whether it's going to inspire you to the written word or kind of or the sort of or visual things, you know, whatever it is. I think that's a really great idea. Just kind of be a visual magpie, you know. And actually, it's one of the things there's a latecomer, Sandra. I will give you the rundown. So we are going to camera 2. So cocktail of the week is the Devil's Cocktail. So this is 1 measure of brandy, half a measure of peppermint. Oh dear, excuse me. Shaken over broken ice. It says, half fill the shaker with broken ice and add the peppermint. Then add the brandy. Shake up and pass through a strainer into a cocktail glass. I've done all that. Twice, in fact. Then Bernard adds, this cocktail is quite strong, not for beginners. Thanks, Bernard. But I'll be the judge of that. Cheers. So this is, and it's a very good one. It's sort of, what does it taste like? It tastes like, tell you what it tastes like. You probably won't know the reference, Sandra, but for those of us of it tastes like Murray mints, alcoholic Murray mints, which weirdly is not the alcohol side, but the Murray mint side is something that reminds me of my grandfather, because not only was as you know, he a fan of occasional cocktail drinking, he was also a man who liked a boiled sweet, and as a man who smoked prodigious quantities of cigarettes and then stopped far too late, as it turns out. But you know, he replaced cigarettes with lots of boiled sweets. Never looked like he'd gained any weight. He was always whip thin. I have not inherited that set of genes. My brother has. My brother is kind of a lean and kind of healthy chap. I, on the other hand, am a rotund agricultural body owner. So stout yeoman, I think, is what I've got, my body type. So Sarah Jane says, I went to an exhibition in Stockholm once, not realizing it was an exhibition of willies. Never knew they came in so many shapes and sizes. Well, there we go. It's good to have a comprehensive survey, isn't it? But to have had somebody else do that comprehensive survey and present it in a kind of I was going to say an easy to digest format, but I won't. I'm sorry. Oh God, this is, as Bernard promised, quite a strong cocktail. Dutch gin kept my dad very thin. Well, I think, you know, is it Jennifer? I don't know. I've always fancied having. I've never had any of the kind of sort of the progenitor gin, because I know it was kind of it came over. It came over the sort of 17th century, I think. I can't remember. I don't know. But you know, having said that, Plymouth Gin Distillery, Vom R Ed. I don't know who that is. I think we're coming from. Oh, it's we've got a viewer on. Oh, we've got somebody from. I know. I'm sorry. Karntov. I don't. Is anyone good at reading Cyrillic? Cantor. Oh, I don't know. I learned a bit of Russian at school and can't remember a damn thing about it. Well, actually, a teacher at school taught us Russian. He was, and I'm convinced he was either, you know, ex-MI6 or a Russian sleeper agent. He was a very good history teacher. This was at my prep school. He was a very good history teacher, or he was a sleeper agent. Oh, we'll do a swap. I'll bring you some Plymouth gin. You could be, you know, I don't know what Brexit's going to do to them. I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, live video. So, just to recap. Oh, hang on. Let's put a banner up about it. You know what? I am going to put a banner up about this, about the boot camp. Good. We'll do a gin swap. I can feel a gin swap coming. Actually, so Plymouth Gin Distillery is one of the oldest ones, but Beth, I'll get you some of the naval strength gin. So you can only buy it either direct from them or from the distillery shop. But naval strength gin, which was, as I understand it, was carried on. It was the gin that was carried on ships to make grog. You can make grog with either rum or gin, I believe. But naval strength gin doesn't. It doesn't do one of two things. It either doesn't spoil gunpowder, or it doesn't make gunpowder go off. The strength is, it's kind of, there's something about naval strength gin which is good to have around gunpowder. Normal strength gin, apparently, that's it. So I think the idea is that because the gin barrels and the gunpowder barrels are stored in the same places, if the gin barrels got cracked and drenched the gunpowder, you would want the gunpowder to still be useful. So you have to have naval strength gin. So I think naval strength gin is the minimum sort of viable strength of gin you can have around gunpowder for it to work. So that's why you have naval strength gin, which I thought was really interesting. I'm just going to quickly bring up a link. Linky. There we go. That'll do. Let's put this banner on. Create a banner. So this is so here at the bottom you can see, moving across, the link to the live stream bootcamp, and this is designed to be a way into live video. If you're somebody who is live streaming already and want to get more from it, it's a great course. If you're somebody who is sitting on the fence about live streaming and wants to know how you can use it to grow your business, this is also great for you. It's actionable, it's quick, it's easy, and it's not going to break the bank either. It is £300, it is £299, and you can pay it over all in one go, or you can pay for it over 2 months. So 2 equal payments of £150. If you are one of the first 10 people to buy it, you will also get a special in-person live video training day. So you will be able to come along and we'll get together in real life, and I will teach you skills around video content creation, both live and pre-recorded. So that's a little incentive. If you fancy that, get on it. It's good. It's the kind of thing that everybody should be doing, because it is not it's not a difficult thing to do, but sometimes you need a little bit of a helping hand to kind of get you on that sort of that true path, and that is what this course is all about. So if you want to use video, look, if I can grow my business with, yes, Carol signed up already. Carol was on it like mustard. She kind of, and Sandra is kind of, so Carol and Sandra are in, which is really exciting, because actually, lovely people already. Mike Boss is in, and I can't remember, that's the 4th person. I'm sorry if you are with me already. We have Emma Fowler. Yes, I'm sorry. That kind of, yeah. Emma is coming in as well, which is brilliant. So if you've got any questions about it, please do ask. But look at this, this little box of tricks, and we're going to be giving away one of these in the challenge. So I initially wasn't going to run a challenge. This was just going to be a course I put out there, but I realized that I really enjoy running challenges, and it's it's fun to do, and it will hopefully result in, frankly, more people signing up, which is what I want. I love running the course, but I also like running a business. So I would like people to sign up because I know I can give them a really good experience and teach them lots of useful things about live streaming. So we have one of these to give away and a few other goodies. So we are going to be running it properly. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a sort of launch kind of live, and we're going to be kicking things off. And if you are not in Grow Your Business with Video, that is where it is going to be happening. So come into the group, and you will be able to participate in the challenge, but only there. So it's only going to be running there. So there's going to be a community engagement prize, and that's what this is going to be. Given the person who is the most engaged member of the community will be walking away with this, which is sort of, I think it's about, they seem to fluctuate in price between about £280 to about £300, and sometimes lower. But either way, it's a really useful bit of kit. Plus, I'll be giving a session with me, so I can help you set it up virtually. But this bit of kit is great because it's going to help sort of differentiate your lives. And for me, already, I feel like I've been able to bring an extra dimension to my live tonight. But that's it. So I'm going to wind things up now. Thank you very much for being here with me this evening. It's been a ruddy pleasure. We've had good chat, and you've made me laugh as always. But please do keep your questions coming as always. If you've got any questions about video content creation, just chuck them my way, and I will always do my best to answer them. Might not be straight away, but I will always make sure I answer them in the lives or kind of in a post in the group. On that note, folks, have a fabulous evening, and I will see you again tomorrow. Cheerio.